Hello? Hello, is this working? Testing, testing. I'm trying out a new, I'm trying to try out this new way of, making it so that you can actually blimmin' hear me. While I'm, while the fan's going pretty loud. So, hopefully this is working and you can hear me. Anyway, welcome. Welcome. I'm going to be playing some Helldivers. I know, it's surprise, surprise, one of the most popular games at this point I'm going to be playing. But I actually, like, I'd be playing this no matter what. I played the first one quite a lot. So I would have been playing this no matter what happened. And so it just happened to be a happy coincidence that the game did incredibly well, to the point where apparently their servers couldn't handle it. Apparently that's the reason why there's been a bit of problems recently, because the servers physically couldn't handle it. Which is insane to me.
Welcome back. A few more missions like that in no time.
Like, oh, why is your game doing badly? Well, why is your game having loads of problems? Oh, because it was too popular. Blimmin' too popular. How does that happen? But they've done it, and I can see why. It's a blimmin' great game. So in fact, I know I technically said I'd start at 6:30, and I won't start the actual battle and start the actual mission before then, but I'm going to switch to the actual gameplay. Boom. So this is me. I'm wearing this stylish blimmin' orange cape, and I've got this kind of like 80s evil villain kind of mask that I got for pre-ordering it. And I'm gonna go try and help however I can to save Super and also chill out and listen to some nice music, and may or may not have the jazz version of Happy Birthday every so often. But you know what? Give them credit where credit's due. It's decent. That reminds me, I gotta turn down the music. As good as the music is in this game, I'm gonna turn off the music. Now there's a reason for that, because it's the Jazz Lounge, and it would be weird if I didn't, right? Anyway, if you're one of those people that doesn't know how this game works, I said I wasn't going to start until I hit 6:30, and I lied immediately because I was about to start then. Basically, what this game is a very simple kind of like. I've used the word horde shooter in one of my tags, and because I think that's the best way you can sort of describe this. This is a horde shooter where you have an objective to do, where you're either dealing with bugs or you're dealing with robots. A couple of notable things that are different to many other like horde style shooters, because in the scheme of things, it's quite similar to games like Left 4 Dead and those other sort of like, you know, World War Z kind of games. A couple exceptions. One, it's not a linear sort of map that you're going towards. It's quite an open map. That's not to say that there's like, it's not like open world in the way of like an RPG is, which is vast and you can go any direction you want kind of thing. But it is a map. Like if you look at this, look at this map here, the circular map. This is what you're dealing with, right? The Galactic War, a battleground awaiting your heroic intervention. Yeah. You don't need to talk to me, guy who I think sounds like the Destiny dude. I haven't played Destiny, but he sounds Destiny-like, you know? At least for me. I'm gonna turn this slightly down, because I want it to be good, but I don't want it to be so loud that I can't hear myself think. Anyway, it's an open world, unlike the Left 4 Deads and the World War Zs. And the I think one of the decently big another big thing is that like the so-called special enemies, whereas before in those kinds of games would be like, you know, a special thing that comes up, like, oh no, like there's one, you know, boomer, or one, like, I forgot the dude with the tongue, or there's one like charger. In this it's like, you know, they're part of the general thing. Now you've got the regular enemies, but then you've got the more tanky enemies. You've got the ones that have a shield on the front, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm sure there's a name for this kind of game, but I don't know it. And so you go around, you complete your objective while dealing with that. Another notable things that I don't think are particularly common. One, if you reload, you lose all of the ammo. Rare thing to see in games that come out like around these times, because it's kind of like, for most games it's a relic of an older sort of like time. But yeah, you reload your gun, still has ammo in it, you've lost that ammo. Second important thing to note, friendly fire is a thing. Much bigger of a problem in Helldivers 1. Completely forgot the name of the blimmin' thing first. It was a bit more of a problem in Helldivers 1. This one is less of a problem, but there is friendly fire. Other than that, it'll be easier for me to show you, and that's exactly what I'll do. By the way, this aesthetic, if you've ever dealt with Starship Troopers, if you've ever dealt with, to a certain extent, I think Dune has this, although I'm not an expert in Dune. But I believe that Dune has something similar to this. We go here, even though it's dangerous. If you dealt with Warhammer to a certain extent, you'll have seen this sort of aesthetic. It's kind of this like, less Warhammer actually. It's kind of the super patriotism kind of aesthetic. They've very much gone into that. I think they're trying to, like, without making it a copy, do something very similar to like a Starship Trooper kind of thing. Which is interesting, because that means there's been a bit of a resurgence in like Starship Trooper like games. Because a couple of actual just straight up Starship Trooper games have come out. Anyway, you can drop down stuff like this. Like, this is my little support gun. This is a machine gun. Normally wouldn't choose this. I'd choose something that can destroy heavy guys like these dudes. Well, they're not as heavy, but like those things. Because they can kill you in one shot like that. Which is insane. I'm putting out there, I fucking hate these things. Because, you know, have you noticed how there's a bit of a fog here? That's them. That's him. He made that fog. And there's another freaking one over there. Look how much damage that thing's taking from a heavy gun. Anyway, got a very heavy Starship Troopers aesthetic. It's really fun. The previous game was really, really fun. And it's kind of, I would say it's probably made for I'd say it's probably, sorry, I was concentrating now. It's probably made for co-op. You can play it solo like this, but I think it's probably more made for co-op. But yeah, it's a cool game. Honestly, it's had a bit of a weird, like, Because the first game, it did well. Like, don't get me wrong, it did well enough for them to make another game. But it didn't do, like, batshit insane well, right? So I was a bit surprised that this game has sort of, like, it's not even wrong to say, like, has had, like, a big, like, boost in popularity. I think it shows that to a certain extent, people, these sort of horde shooters that I don't think are really as popular. I mean, you've got stuff like, when I think of horde shooters like this, I think of like, maybe like Darkside, maybe something like, and even that, I'm a bit iffy on whether I consider it a horde shooter. I think of it maybe more as like a, I guess it is a horde shooter, but I don't know, like, I think this sort of idea of a, this sort of idea of a horde shooter is sort of like not really hugely popular, but I really love them, and this one's done very well. I think the aesthetic, it not being top down, because that's the biggest thing, is that the first game was top down and it was effectively just this game, with one really annoying faction that luckily hasn't come over yet. I say yet because I imagine it's a matter of time. How do you see me? Why did you see me? How is this fair? How is this fair? This is not fair. There's too many of you. And you insta-kill me. Why do you all insta-kill me? Run! Run! Grenade! Okay, well, I mean, this is a hole that spawns them. There are many like it, but that's one of them. Here is another hole that spawns them. There's many like it, but this one doesn't exist anymore. As you can probably guess, not hugely good at this game. This is on medium, which sounds not bad, right? It's like, hold on a second, mate, you're playing on medium. Medium's not bad. Medium's like the third difficulty of like many difficulties. Like, this isn't to say that you're playing this one, you're like you're bad at it, but it's hard to say you're good at the game if you're playing on this, and I don't consider myself good at these games. But yeah, those things, as you can see, they make a fog, and they're really tanky, and their acid specifically can one-shot somebody who is in medium armor. Like, I'm not in the hardest armor, but I am in armor that is not just medium, but is also armor that... Do I have a... Oh, it's all the way. Oh, are you kidding me? There's more coming. They're right there. They've brought a fog with them. They've brought that guy with them. Please, please, leave me. Leave me be. Leave me be. Leave me be. Leave me, I just want to kill. No, 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 no. Leave me be. Leave me be. Polly, Polly. That's not fair. As you can see, I'm not great at it. But yeah, I love the aesthetic. I love the bugs. I think, obviously, bugs, when you're dealing with like things like this, you're always going to be compared to other bug-like enemies out there. And probably the most common bug-like enemy for the common people, you know, that's in... For common people sounds a bit mean. What I mean is for like in the common parlance. is probably something like Zerg, for example, right? And I think they've done a good job of making this game have a bug enemy that, I mean, have a bug enemy style, which is always going to be prepared to the other one. But I think it looks decently unique. I think the enemies are really cool. And I think what I think is the biggest selling factor, at least for somebody like me, is the fact that, like, yeah, sure, gameplay is incredibly solid, right?
Fire in the hole.
Blow up. Why do you not die? Gameplay's incredibly solid. Like, all the guns feel good. All the enemies feel cool. I think the thing that to me puts it over the edge is and what makes this one maybe has done well and the other one didn't do as well, is the fact that you're seeing it from the person's sort of view. Means that you are the enemies that these basic enemies like this, they look huge, right? They look scary. Like before, like they were huge. They were the same sort of enemies. They haven't changed too much, but they were like the size of like Did that destroy the thing? It did. Cool. They were like the size of like you know, they were size of like my thumb on the screen, and I had nothing for scale for them. And so, as far as I was concerned, it was like, well, why am I scared of this thing? It's... Oh, no! Oh, please! I was talking! It's not fair! You can't come out of it! You can't... no, cheat! Stay down! Stay down! Thank you. You all stay down. I was talking to the audience. Anyway, as I was saying, I think that the fact that you can see the scale of them, I'm not sure how it does for other people, but that's definitely a huge thing where I think this is maybe better than the game they made previously. You know what's interesting is this is the sort of, it being a decently niche thing, this is the second time I've seen a group, like a company go, a company that's decided to take their game that already existed and all they've done is they've changed these, so effectively they've done quality of life improvements, and so it's a bit mean to say that they've done nothing but changed the sort of like person that you're doing it from, like the view that you're doing it. But it is notable that I think... Oh, sorry, I'm good, thanks. It is notable that the other game I'm talking about, which is Risk of Rain, they did a very similar thing to what Helldivers is doing right now, except they went from 2D to 3D, and that changed up the game and it made it completely different. Now, interesting enough, I actually prefer the Risk of Rain 2D version. So I preferred their original. But in this situation, I think, even though I had a load of, and I mean a load of fun with Helldivers 1, it used to be like a staple of games that me and my friends would play. I think this one is probably the better version. And I think the big thing is that scale. It's the scaling. The fact that if I see a big bad the big bad looks big and bad because it's scaled to look like that. And it makes you more panicked, it makes you feel like you're more into it. I know for a fact that if I'm getting attacked by a bug in this game, I react so differently to how I reacted when I got attacked by a bug in the top-down. For the top-down one, I was like, well, yeah, sure, I'm getting attacked by a bug, but like, I'm not panicking because this isn't me. Whereas now, I see this as me. Like, I can connect to the character more. Which I think is a huge improvement they've had. Ooh. Die, die, die. Thank you. No, 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 die. Oh, you're kidding me. No, please. How is that unknown, by the way?
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Joining the fray.
I really don't like those creatures. Oh, there it is. Die, die, die. It didn't die.
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
Happy birthday, motherfuckers. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. No, 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 no. Please, 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 please. This is supposed to be chill. Please.
Throwing grenade.
Please, 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 please.
Bag's empty.
And what's really cool about these guys is they take this
Bag's empty.
this shield guy right here. He's like, seems simple enough, right? He's got a shield at the front, can't hit him in the front because he's got a shield there. Except it's slightly more complicated than you'd initially think, because he's got a shield, but that's only his like the head on his
Deploying equipment package.
That's only the bit on his head, as it shows in his thing. That's just his head bit.
Attack underway.
And so if you're able to shoot it in an area that isn't... Okay, this is insane. Insane. No, 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 no. Throw a grenade on the floor. Okay. No, 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 that's not fair, that's not fair. It's not fair. No, 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 no. Die, 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 die. Look how much damage that thing does. That thing's bullshit. That is.
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
I know this is gonna get me killed, but I don't care. That thing's dying. So yeah, I think this game's really, really fun. And I think I've not even gone into the different strategies, different weapons you can have. I think... Come on, come on, come on.
Bag's empty.
I've not even gone into the different weapons you can have, the different stratagems, the different bombardments and like attacks you can do. You can put down smoke, you can put down EMPs that stun them. You can, you know... It's more than just like the surface level thing you'd think. They've done a decent amount of work here to to make this interesting, unique. There's turrets you can put down. Haven't even got into them. They're really, really fun. But also with the whole thing with No? No? It's not. Where's the final egg? Do you see an egg? I don't see an egg. What I do see is this thing that was probably annoying me. There it is. Boom!
You have been a stalwart line of freedom.
I've been a stalwart line of freedom. Freedom? I think that deserves me running away once. Just once. But yeah, different kinds of stratagems, the turrets you can put down, this little... You can have like a little backpack drone that helps you. Let me, I don't have one at the moment, but you can have like a little backpack drone that you can have. All these different support weapons, like the one I just saw. Okay. Now we're just gonna throw a couple of grenades over there. We're gonna throw one of those over there. We're gonna just... We're just gonna throw one of those over there. Now people will say, oh fuck, they saw me! No! What was the point? Die! Die! Why? Why do those things exist? Why do those things exist?
Have a taste of democracy.
There he is! There he is! Die! No, 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 no. Please. Please, just...
Bag's empty.
Oh, there's another one! You can see the fog coming in! You can see the fog coming in! There's another one! No, please!
How'd you like to
Please,
taste some
screw off.
freedom?
Okay, okay. You know what? Calm, Jack. It's dead. It's dead. We're good. It can't hurt you. Nothing can hurt you. You're fine.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Hold on. There's another one! There's another one! That's not fair! Why is the fog still here? Disappear, fog. I killed the guy. I will deal with 1,000 of you before I deal with one of those. No, 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 no. Happy birthday!
Bag's empty.
No, 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 no. No, why did I not reload this gun? Come back here. I'm not scared of you, Ed. The fog just came in. The fog just came in. We're running. We're running. We're running.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
It's over there somewhere.
Firing orbital strike.
Is it dead?
Sending down support weapon.
There's still fog. No, please. I give up. You win, please. Where is it? Where is that motherfucker? There you are. Yes, I got a rocket launcher just to kill one of those. Do I regret it? No. Oh, there's another one. There's another two. There's another two. This isn't fair. Please, no. No, 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 no. Look, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Please don't stop it. Thank you.
T-minus 20 seconds.
Please, please, please get a... I need a shuttle to come down.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
Not the fog, not the fog. Not the fog.
Pelican 1 approaching pickup.
Not the fog, not the fog. Die,
Grenade.
die, die.
This is Pelican 1 preparing for touchdown.
Land, Please land. Aha! Perfect. I lost all of my research, but that was worth it. I got out of there. Oh, as you can see, even though it's supposed to be chill, I might not be as chill in this one, because this thing's blimmin' scare me, I tell you that much. It blimmin' scares me. But yeah, I can sort of reliably do medium difficulty, losing most of my lives if I'm being completely honest. But I've had a lot of fun with these with this game, so it doesn't really matter. You know, the gameplay I think is pretty interesting, pretty good and fun. Anyway, let's sort of talk about what's happened since I last did one of these. So, obviously Monday I did the stream. Tuesday, not much has happened. Not much happened on Tuesday. Wednesday though, we did obviously the Rogue Trader stream. Rogue Trader stream was fun, very very fun in my opinion. We sort of finished off the Janus stuff. I mentioned this a bit in the actual episode itself, but I think that game sorely needs to take interesting ideas that they have and expand on them more, in my opinion. So you have situations like let's say Janus, for example. That place had this really interesting idea of, like, there was this jungle area. The jungle area was the jungle area had, like, this is where we get all our food, which was interesting. And so we get all this food from him, so we go to investigate the place, and we find out that they're having a bit of a problem with rebels. And so you're like, okay, fair enough, rebels aren't that big of a deal. And so you go talk to the governor, and she seems like a nice person. She's like, hey, can you help us with this? We don't have the ships to scan for their location. So you go get a load of information, and you find an old servant who had let them into the castle because he effectively had just been attacked, right? And he says, no, she's horrible, and we're rebelling for legitimate reasons. She's like asking people to give sacrifices and stuff, and you're like, oh, damn, okay. And so then you research it more, and you're like, okay, this is interesting. That she has an ally that's sort of helping her trying to track everything. And so you go talk with the ally, and anyone you have in your group that knows about aliens goes, that's an Eldar. That's just a freaking Eldar. And so you sort of go through the whole thing, and you're like, okay, well, this is an Eldar. Why are they helping here? And long story short, you find out that there's effectively two factions in this. There are rebels who think they're doing good, but they're actually being shadow controlled by the Eldar via, like, mind manipulation, effectively, to run this rebellion so that they can take over this planet that apparently used to be theirs. And then you've got her, who's definitely part of some sort of Slanesh cult that is taking sacrifices for her experiments. What I really liked about it was it felt like there was a lot of stuff you could go with that. You could go with, okay, well then, like, are all of the rebels, do they know this and are effectively going, yes, it's just a better alternative to what we already have? Or is everyone completely in the dark? And I think that would have been an interesting way you could go. But, you know, there was the idea of, like, okay, well, is the Slaneshi cult it's the thing is that her being part of the Slaneshi cult has allowed her to make this place the richest place that you've ever had, right? And it's like, well, then do you take this mild chaotic influence that she says she has complete control over, just because at the end of the day you're getting a huge profit out of this, and is the profit better than the where are these guys? See them? There they are. Hello. Do you, like, I think there was more you could do with that. I think, honestly, I think that could have been, like, its own act. In my opinion. But instead what you got was, like, kind of like a roundabout, yeah, these people are evil, these people are good, that's the end. You know? And don't get me wrong, I am a fan of situations where there are just irreversibly bad people that do not exactly fall into a camp of like, oh, we might be good, we might be evil. It's just like, no, these people are pieces of shit. Why? Because money or some shit, right? There it is. Like, I like having some people that are like not morally grey, they are just evil or they are just good. But I just think there was so much they could have done with it. So much that would have been interesting and could have taken a game that I thought was, that I still think is very, very good, and elevated it beyond what it already was into a really, really good game. But yeah, I'm still having fun with that. I'm still having a lot of fun. It's just, and this isn't the only one. I just think that because of the whole idea of like, you effectively have like 3 major planets, and these 3 major planets have small stories in them that all overarch into the actual, all like are in one big arc that ends in whichever, like, either a final place or whichever place you decide is going to be your place. And I like the idea. It's like 3 short stories, but all of them are connected. I've seen that being done on like in other like books and stuff before. But I personally feel like there's a bug breach detected. I feel like there were so many good, like really good strategies, like sorry, really good stories that kind of fell at the wayside because it's like, no, our time is done with this one. We have to go to other one that's not bad, but I was having a lot of fun with X. You know, it's an interesting situation. Like, there was one that I saw before, giving another example. There's a mission that you deal with where it's a prison person. It's a prison warden. And they are a weird, like, exception because they believe that these people can be redeemed that are in prison. And they believe that they have worth. And they treat them like people. And it's so weird to say that that's like a rarity and is considered weird, but it is in this world, right? And so but like you learn about through the logs that this person is nice, and if you do really nice, you get to join a special group of people that he like exemplifies as being like grade A students, and so he like gives them some form of like luxury and some form of responsibilities. And generally on the surface, for the average person, you're like, this person is just a generally nice person that exists in a what is generally considered a pretty bleak, pretty dark sort of sort of world. And so you look at that and you go, perfect. And then you start reading more, and you realize that actually there's some freaky stuff about this guy. Because you realize that these people that he's exemplifying as like grade A people, they have a lot of power. And in fact, he takes them to an area, and then they come back and they're weird. You know, he cares about them, but then he also makes them. They have all this power, and then they start using it to do whatever the fuck they want. And people start realizing this, and so people start acting good to get these privileges, but then finding out that in addition to these privileges, you also have to go with him, and you start learning his views, and he starts then preaching these views, and he turns it from a society of like, hey, if you do well, you get these responsibilities and treats and stuff, to if you do well, you are A, you are alpha, and if you do badly, you are B, and you have to work for A. And so I thought there was a really cool sort of group, aesthetic there, and I thought this was something you could definitely really something you could sort of spend some time on, you know, like you could do more with. And the more I learned from these logbooks, that whoever wrote these did a great job of showing off like both the bleakness of that world and the showing off this person that is either very slowly or has already turned evil. But he's not evil per se, he's just chaos. And chaos technically can have good parts to it. They did a really good job with that. In what were just effectively like a couple of paragraphs. But yeah, I got really interested in that, and then it was just sort of like you find the guy, you defeat him, the end. You know, like there's an overarching story about why he was there and everything, but I'm gonna I'm gonna keep doing that no matter what. D4. This is 9 steps. This is a big one. But yeah, for me at the very least, it was good. Don't get me wrong. Their short stories are too good to the point where I want to learn more. But yeah, I finished Yanis. I think Yanis was very, very good. I have that that thing that I always have, where as I always am like, okay, there's this decision here. I really wish that I could have chosen this decision, but I failed the check, and so there's nothing I can do about it. But God, I wish I'd succeeded in this decision. Where hopefully it could have been a bit more of like a cooperative experience. What's this? Oh. Well, I still think I had quite a lot of fun with it. I think my decision for siding with the Eldar on in Rogue Trader was probably the decision I'd want to have done. I think generally they are, like, although they are technically enemies, they are nicer enemies in my opinion. There you are. Okay. They are like chiller people, and we have actual proof in the lore of, you know, them working with us. Not this technically faction, but we have worked with them before, and so I think I was right to have picked that decision, but you know, it's argued. And so yeah, we did Rogue Trader on Wednesdays, and then I mean, this game came out and it kind of took over my life, honestly. This game is just really, really fun. I tweeted about this, but it's one of the very few games that I've played that, although I think it was made for co-op, I've had a lot of fun playing solo. And it's weird to put it in this sort of on the Jazz Lounge spot, because this is normally for comfort games, and it's, you know, it's a high octane game. You're not just like relaxing, you know, watching something on a second monitor kind of level with this.
Say hello to democracy!
I meant to hit crouch, that's why I randomly just used a stim, by the way, there. But yeah, I think this, weirdly, is actually a comfort game for me. It's, I'm bad at it, but it is quite a comfort game. I have a lot of fun playing it co-op, but honestly, I've been finding myself wasting a decent amount of time just playing this game, even when, back yesterday when there were server issues, and I wasn't getting war bonds from doing it. So it wasn't actually gaining anything from completing missions, except for, like, progress towards the order of the, like, the daily quest. I was still playing it. I was still playing this game, and I was still having a decent amount of fun with it. So yeah, that's effectively just consumed what I was doing. I've been playing. I haven't been playing a ton in terms of, like, if you look at my progression, I haven't done a huge amount of progression. I haven't locked all of the guns yet. I haven't gone on to the premium, like, I don't know what to call it. Like, calling it a battle pass is kind of, it has negative connotations at this point, but it's close to a battle pass of sorts, right? Like, it's a battle pass, except there's not even there's no part of it that's related to paying money. Except you could argue the premium one, because you could get the super edition and get that for free without having to pay 1,000 to unlock it. But you can. The thing is with this game that I think is really good is that it's done a decently, like, a very good job in the scheme of things to like make sure that the monetization in this game isn't egregious. Like, don't get me wrong, there is there's cosmetics in this game, and there are premium cosmetics in this game, but they're One second, I'll finish my thought once they're dead. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. So many of them. There's so many of them. Okay, as I was saying, there's premium skins and there's cosmetics in this game, but the cosmetics are, the base cosmetics you can just purchase by playing a decent amount, and the premium cosmetics use premium currency, but it's premium currency that you can not only get via,
Have a taste of democracy.
not only can you get by just playing the game and finishing the pass, and you get a decent amount as well. I'm talking like you finish, you can get like with if you purchase 2 of them, which will take you about. I've been playing this game for about 9 hours. I've gotten to the 3rd page. At this point, I could get myself 300 super bucks from just the pages, and that would have been, in fact, I have, and that would be enough to get myself a premium skin. That's pretty decent. And you can find it around in your locations if you find boxes that gives you like 10, but it's something. The fact you can earn everything that you want in this game is a huge plus that you don't see a lot. Happy birthday just started again in the jazz thing. Just mention that again. So I'm very happy with how they've done that. I think that's a sort of the direction that I'd hope everybody goes. But I know that I've seen the stats on how, like, Diablo Immortals, for example, how much money that made, and I've seen that like it made more money in it like the first month that it was out than World of Warcraft made in an expansion. It's, I can understand why companies want to make it more monetized, but I will say that gosh does it feel good to play a game where I know that if I want to get something, like, I can get it. So if you look here, this is the super credits. You can buy 100 on every page has an option to buy it, and it increases proportional to how much the things on the page are. But like 15, like I have 26 at the moment, right? Even the one on this page I can buy. Even the one on this page I can buy. And this is 100. And if I go to the Superstore, which is just 2 sets, with varying amounts of money for each of them, right? This is 400. The fact that I can get that just by doing 4 pages, which, it's not a small thing, but it's the fact that you can get it in that way is great. Speaking of that, do I have enough to buy what I want to buy here? What did I want to get? Did I want to get the high 5? That doesn't look, to me, does that look like you're getting ready for a high 5? I would have my hand up in the air if I was getting ready for a high 5. I don't know if I like this a ton. And I don't know if I'd like... Sorry, I instinctively click stuff. I don't know if I like this enough to buy it. I don't think I want that. Maybe I want to try out the grenades though. So I'm gonna pick up the grenades. So as you can see, you need to spend enough to get to the next area. And look, you unlock like weapons here. It's normally a weapon, some sort of secondary thing, an emote, an armor, a helmet, and a cape. And you can unlock a decent amount. I will say one of my One of my, I guess one of my problems with this game, one of my complaints with this game is... Oh, by the way, this is, you can upgrade like your stratagems. It's a slow burner, especially if you're doing what I'm doing, where you kind of just beeline stuff. Nice. But yeah, the fact that you can get them is a huge bonus in my opinion. Yeah, I just think it's such a breath of fresh air. As I was saying, one of the things that I don't like about this, that I think I wish they had kept from the previous game, is if you look at the customization in this game, you used to have it where there was, well, it used to be that you how do I get rid of that? Not this way, but how do I get rid of this? Ah, screw it, I'm taking it. I can't be arsed. Oh, that's how you do it. Never mind. I kind of want autocannon Stalwart. Why not? One of the things I don't like about this, that they, in the previous game, skins weren't really a thing. That wasn't really the monetization method. It was kind of you just bought it and then that was the game. And there was some DLC that added like skins and stuff. But what I don't like about it is that they didn't allow you to change the color of your armor, or like the accents on the armor, which that you could have done before, and I thought was a really good thing to have. I like having customization options, and that was a really good customization option that I think I very much wish was a thing. And I'm a bit annoyed it isn't, you know. Another thing that I hope they do actually transfer over, and this thing's a bit different because this thing actually they've acknowledged and they've said that they're going to add, but the previous game had vehicles, more specifically like a bike, a tank, a mech, you know, things you could get in that were really, really cool. The mech especially was really fun to play in. And even like the other stuff were kind of goofy. Like you could have a bike with a boxcar, and they have a dude in the boxcar that's shooting people with in the boxcar. Like stuff like that I think would be. There's no reason not to add it, and I think it would be really good if it was there. It's just kind of a shame that it's just something they didn't add. And I'm hoping they add it in full, and it's not just like we've added the bike, or you know we've added X, and it's not enough. Because in my opinion, there's no reason not to add all that they have. Did I get all of them? Yes! Now that's a good achievement. We're gonna ignore these dudes. Because I see that fog, and I know what fog means. I'm not an idiot. I am not dealing with my worst enemy, the blooming fog demons. But yeah, I think they're kind of needed, especially for stuff like this, where you're like running from one side of the map to the other, which is not overly annoying, but it is a point. There is a point where you're just sitting there and you're going, oh, that's all I gotta do. That's all I can do at this moment. You know, it. It's like, is that it? And so I kind of hope they add. I'm kind of hope they add the vehicles, because I just think I don't think they've changed the game enough that, like, adding the vehicles is overpowered. And I think they add a really cool mechanic to it. I'm not sure how, in comparison to, with it not being top-down, how powerful they would be. But I'm sure there's a way you can balance them.
Mag's empty.
I mean, they balanced having a weapon with infinite ammo pretty easily. You know, I didn't think they would be able to do that, but they did. Okay, you need to move. No, move. Yep, let's get rid of that. I'm not having more of these things spawn. Yep. Nope. No. No, they're not dying. It's not dying. Fuck it, we're clearing this place out the old-fashioned way. Old-fashioned way. And we're dealing with these enemies the old-fashioned way as well. No. You weren't there literally a second ago. That's blimmin' bull poopy. And you guys know it. Okay, we're gonna throw this hit, and we're gonna run. I mean, surely this napalm will kill them. He's running through the napalm. He's running through the napalm. I never thought fog would give me this much of a blimmin' nightmare. But it honestly does. I can't deal with them. But yeah, generally, even with those complaints, the game is honestly 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Love this game. I think it... What I really like as well, that I think is something that I haven't seen done a decent amount in games like this. Okay, first off, these things, I could have done without them. I don't like them. But, you know what I do want is this thing dead. Thank you. That's all I wanted. You jumping with the blimmin' flippers. Flippers? Flippers. Where is blimmin', they're like strategically moving me away from the blimmin' extraction point. That's not happening. That's not happening. I'm having my first time where I've gotten out of this without ever blimmin' taking any form of death. I'm doing it now, and this is gonna be what happens. But yeah, I think the only other thing that I've really done this week has been I've been watching more. I bring this up every week because it's what I've been doing every week, but I've just been watching more D&D. I've been watching more of World of Io, I've been watching more of Goblins of Io. And it's kind of bittersweet because I know I'm getting to the end of it. I've got the episode I'm on now. I've got a 2-part special. Then I have a side, like, half an hour long. Bearing in mind that in comparison, normally they're 2 hours. I've got a half hour, like, mini sort of, like, side thing. Then I have another boss fight. And then after that I have the final episode. And then that's it. I'm done with what has effectively dominated what I'm listening to at work for
Extraction request confirmed.
several months at this point. It must be several months.
Bag's empty.
Okay. First things first. I don't care if I'm getting attacked. I need that thing dead. Do I have an irrational fear of those bugs now? No, it's not irrational. They one-shot you and they are incredibly tanky. To the point where I'm using a gun that's specifically made to kill... Specifically made to kill tanks. Blimmin' tanks to deal with it. Does that sound like something you underestimate? No. Also, notably, something I didn't notice before. Have you noticed that it... Ah! Ah! Please, no! What did I ever do to you? Sure, my species harvested you for fuel for like 100 years. But like, what have I done to you lately? What have I specifically... Stop reloading the gun! Stop reloading the gun! Stop reloading the gun! What do you mean I'm too far from the shuttle? Just summon the shuttle! It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not... What the fuck have I done to you lately? Hey? Stop being out faster than me, you're half my size. That makes no physical sense. Now, if I see one of you horrendous... There you are! Yeah, please get over it. Get over it. I need this research. I need that guy dead. I need this research as well. Yeah, 2 researches. No deaths? No deaths. I'm a genius. I'm the best at this. Anyway, yeah, that happened. I've been watching a lot of Goblins of Io. It's been a bit bittersweet. Honestly,
Victory for the right side of history.
in the scheme of things, I feel like I'm worried that the other games that he does, just based on some of the crossovers I've done, are just not going to be as fun. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain theme to the Goblins sort of series, which is absolute blimmin' chaos. Like, chaos incarnate, right? And I'm worried that I'm not going to get that from the others, and I'm going to feel like the characters are bad. Because everyone recommended Goblins. Everyone was like, if you're starting Phase 2, which is the only, like, it's this set of, like, series that are, like, part of an overarching story. You're doing Phase 2, like, Goblins was always mentioned. And so I'm worried that I'm gonna go try one of the other ones, and it's gonna be like I'm dealing with, you know, like 4 me's playing D&D, where their characters aren't funny, their characters aren't interesting, they don't stick to their characters. Or honestly, one of the worst things, which is they just they just don't give a care half the time. Worst thing ever. You're sitting there, and you're trying to get into a sort of into a series, and then one of the people in the series just doesn't seem to care. It really takes me out of it.
The galactic war awaits.
Oh, but so I'm worried that that's going to be a big thing to it.
Family is torn limb from limb. You strike.
So something I should mention while we're here, mechanic that exists. So, as you can see, this planet 100% liberated. These 2 planets were starting off, and it's supposed to represent the battle map of the places they've taken over. So we've liberated all of these places. They were already liberated at the start, but we liberated this one, and we're moving on to this one, and we've got it to 72%. Once we do that, it'll move up to these set of planets, and we'll start on these. Wait, can we already start on these? Oh, you can already start on them. That's kind of cool. Is there anything interesting on them? Intense heat? I want to help with this one, honestly. But once you liberate it, you move them back. And then eventually you get to a point where... where do I want to go? This mission. All these people are like either friends or random people that either have sent an SOS or you can just join on them. Because they have not looked at their settings and turned off that anyone can join. I don't like Blitz. I really don't like Blitz. What's this? Evacuate citizens. Geological survey. Okay, I can evacuate citizens. But yeah, I like the fact that you push them back, and in the previous game you found like their home worlds, and then you fought in their home worlds, and there was like a boss there. And if you fail to do it, by the way, a similar thing happens where they can push you back to Earth, and when that happens, you have to like do a special like defensive mission on Earth, which I've never had the chance to deal with, because I played a lot when it was doing really well, you know, like it just come out, not really well like compared to this, but like it was still doing well. And then I played it again later on, but at that point we were getting pushed back because there weren't enough people playing, but we hadn't gotten to the point where they had gotten to Earth yet. Let's get myself one of these. Also, I'm not very fast when it comes to setting down stratagems, especially when I'm panicked. God, when I'm panicked, I'm horrendous at it. I almost died to that. Hey! God, dog, get them. Nice! Good on you, dog.
Bag's empty.
Shoot it! Why are you... Stop reloading and shoot. I don't know how good this guard dog is. There's an argument to say it's actually a detriment to you because it initiates fights that you might not initially wanted to have initiated. I just wanted to use it because I don't have access to a lot of stuff, and why not try something while I can? That was perfect. I don't know if it's going to kill them all, but I'm pretty happy with my throw. It said I killed 3 things. Yes, I just shot it in the leg and it died. That's why I like having a shotgun. Because a shotgun goes, hey, you know how like you're incredibly inaccurate? Doesn't matter here. I really like when the enemies just stop moving. You know? Because when they stop moving, it just gives me an option to shoot. Or put down cool stratagems like that. Log in? Sure. Boop, 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 boop. Open. Call down SSC. Already done. Way ahead of them. Insert into hatch. Now that I didn't see where it was. Hatch? Oh, it's right there. It's glowing. So that even people like me could figure it out. I keep hitting crouch instead of heal. Which... Is this not it? This feels like a... Did I not count as pulling down the thing? Oh, I dropped it. That's why. That in there. I'm gonna imagine that I probably Gonna need some supplies first.
Deploying equipment package.
You know what's interesting is in this game, it was in the previous game, but you what? Yeah, oh, 100%. Yeah, cool. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Cool. In the previous game, you'd, obviously, it'd be top down, but a lot of things are the same. The stratagems would come down, and what was the biggest, I would say, I guess biggest is the wrong word, but what was a notable part of the last game was that if you
Say hello to democracy!
Where? Who summoned this breach? Was it you? It was you, wasn't it?
Bag's empty.
Oh, now I have to deal with these creatures. I hate those creatures. And they hate me. It's a mutual respect.
Taste of democracy!
Mutual hate. But yeah, one of the things was that you drop down something. Oh, sorry, I'm just checking. Yeah, it's around there. Okay, cool. You drop down something, and if it fell on you, you were dead. And it's a much bigger of a thing in the top-down first game. Because there was like limited space and stuff, because it would be smaller in general. And in this one, I have yet to kill myself using my own stratagems, which isn't like an incredibly like huge thing to be an achievement. But if I didn't rate that as an achievement, I wouldn't have many achievements. These kinds of things, these little things, they're the kinds of things that I keep as achievements.
Returning to destroyer for resupply.
Shoot him! Shoot him if you see him! You see him? No. Cool. So yeah, I think it's definitely an achievement for me. I definitely rate that as an achievement. But yeah, I've other than that, not been much. I haven't played much really. I played some more Brotato. That game is great. I don't like that big thing on the screen. Is it a charger? Not a charger. It's arguably the easiest to link by here. Don't know why I dropped one of those things. But luckily, it's not a large range, so I don't get screwed by it. But yeah, I've been playing more Potato. That game is just so good for just making it so there's so many characters that you never get sick of them. And I know that in the scheme of things, all they're doing is they're just moving one value of one stat value and replacing it with another stat value, right? But it doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like it changes up how I want to play enough that it feels like a fun game to me. Shuttle Bay, C3. Bay door control, open. Now let's go find myself some civilians of Super Earth. I'm here to defend you, civilians of Super Earth. And by defend you, of course, I mean press this button, then immediately leave to go help someone else, knowing that you're probably safe. You've got like a 50-50 shot of being safe, you know, that's probably enough. By the way, side note, I absolutely love how they do this drone, with this gun drone, because if you look at it, 1, 2, come on, another one. Yes. Because if you look at it, it's just a drone. Like, sure, it's got rockets and everything, but it's just a regular... It's just a regular drone, except what they've changed is they strapped a blimmin' gun to it. No! I feel like I killed that fast enough. But hey. I'm so glad they have this guard drone that's just sort of killing them. Stop hiding behind that building.
Bag's empty. Throwing grenade.
Boom. I noticed that thing kind of looks like a bug velociraptor. Never noticed that before, but just now I noticed that. The way it has its little hands that it has near its chest. Very cute. I classify a lot of these things as pretty cute. You know, initially when I saw this for the first time, this objective, I was convinced it was going to be an annoyance, because it felt like it was just going to be like, oh, you've got to guide them across the world or something. It's a freaking escort mission. I hate escort missions. I don't think there's many people who like escort missions, really.
Deploying equipment package.
But what actually came out of it was like it's pretty simple. They simplified it a decent amount to the point where it feels not like an annoyance. In fact, it feels like it's got enough to it that it's a challenge. It's definitely not one of the easiest ones, but it's not to the level of what an actual escort mission is. I think that's because they did a lot of things that wouldn't initially in like older games be a thing. For example, I don't have to manually guide them. They know exactly where they're supposed to go. That's huge. Second thing, very huge. It's not a huge distance, is it? It's a very small distance. And the third thing that I think they did that was pretty good, that I think has made this less of an annoyance, is that the actual amount you have to do is not that much. It's like 3 trips to each of them. Like +1, because you got to do 20, and you get 3 from each of them. So it's not a huge deal. Like, and the fact they recharge fast enough that you do one, you do the other one, then by the time you get back to the first one you did, it's already recharged. It's huge. Yeah. By the way, I haven't showed it off yet, but there is another faction. I briefly mentioned it, but there's another faction called the Automatons, that are robots, as you could probably guess.
You may extract with honor.
Human assets relocated.
Tagging map. South.
They are... I've talked about how different they were, and the reason why they're different is they specifically, all of the... Well, the basic enemy has a gun. Has embraced gun. Boom, another round of happy birthday. But yeah, they've embraced the having guns, and so all of them have ranged options. And so you see how, like, with the bugs, a lot of the time, before they even get to me, I've killed like half of them, right? But by the time they get to me, they're doing like the proper damage to me. Like, it's properly, they start to properly start doing damage to me. They have a different problem. There's less of them. Like, it's notable that, whereas you'd get like 5 small dudes in a basic patrol in like a bug mission, in that same patrol, if it was a robot, would have like 3 guys, right? They lower the amount that are there, but all of them have guns. not very accurate guns, bear in mind, but guns. And that changes the strategy by like a significant portion, in my opinion.
Bag's empty. Bug outpost spotted. Prepare to exterminate.
Nope. No. This is what we're doing. Which is it's an interesting way of doing it. Like, it makes, what I like about it is it makes some stratagems that you'd think were blimmin' useless on this into actually like being very useful.
Have a taste of democracy.
So like, for example, there's a thing you can get supplied to you, which is effectively like a shield generator. So it's like a portable shield generator that you put on your cell, and it blocks ranged fire. Now against these guys, I mean, the only ranged fire that we've seen has been like those big bugs that I absolutely hate, right? And don't get me wrong, there's nothing I would like more as to deal with specifically them. But it's not getting as much use, right? Unless you're like me, who absolutely hates those bugs. The use for them is very limited, right?
Bag's empty.
Whereas in the robot missions,
Freedom.
those things seem like they're like incredibly useful, like borderline needed for some of the later missions, I imagine. Because there are some enemies, sure, it only deals with light sort of fire, but there are some enemies that they shoot you and you're dead instantly. Like how I got hit by that acid and got insta-killed. It's like that, except these are on people that can shoot a lot larger distance. And are much more tankier. They focus a lot more on, even they're more like I'm not gonna call them basic, but they're less elite enemies. So the ones that are elite, but not like your super elite, even they have like very obvious like weak spots, and they have a lot higher armor in general. It's sort of my 2 cents about it. Where are they? There they are. I will not leave one of those things alive. You know what? That hurt.
Bag's empty.
You know what? I don't need to even kill you. I got too scared. I should have had more confidence in my drone, but I didn't. But yeah, they are, in my opinion, and it was interesting, I was talking to somebody before and they were saying that they consider them the easier of the 2 enemy types. Now admittedly they were playing on higher difficulties and they're much more skilled in the actual game than me, but me personally, I find them, it's not even close. These things are, if I was playing a mission on hard, which is, difficulty 4, sorry, I guess that's challenging. If I'm playing on mission on challenging, a difficulty 4 mission, I would expect myself, if I could do a mission on difficulty 4, against the bugs, I would expect it to be that I can't do it on the robots. I think the big thing about that is my strategy when it comes to the bugs is I absolutely barrage them before they even get close to me, right? Which I think is everyone's strategy, but I think the second part that I do isn't everyone's strategy, which is I panic as soon as they get close to me. And when they do get close to me, I take that as a, right, I've got to run then. That's my, that's my sign that I need to run the frick away.
ETA T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Whereas I think what, especially the more advanced people will do, is they'll like dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge around the enemies and sort of take them out kind of casually, while being in generally quite close range. Where I go, I'm fucking running away, and then when I get to a decent range where I can turn around and shoot, I'll turn around and shoot.
That's empty.
You know, that's sort of my go-to. Unless it's these basic bugs like that, right? So it's an interesting situation, and I think the general, my 2 cents on this whole thing is probably that when you are, I mean, I haven't dealt with the more higher skilled cyborg enemies.
ETA T-minus 20
Like,
seconds.
I've dealt with the high, like the enemies that only appear on the higher difficulties for the books with my friends, but I haven't done that with the robots. They only have like tanks that you go up against, so I don't know how they are compared to the high up bugs. But I generally think that the lower skilled people like me will say that the bugs are easier because they seem a bit more beginner friendly, at least in the earlier difficulties. And then when you get to the higher difficulties, I think it starts to become, maybe I'm guessing the higher up bugs are probably harder because the swarms become bigger, and when the swarms are like get a certain amount of mass, it becomes so overwhelming that it becomes a bigger threat, right? Maybe because at this point, generally, I can mow down more than half, 75%, maybe 80% of the bugs before they even get close to me. Maybe in the later difficulties, unless you have specific weapons made for it, say like that big machine gun that can mow them down, maybe it's different. I don't know. It's not something that I'd say overly thought about, really. I tend to just go around to the bugs. I'm very interested to see how the bosses work, but the bosses in this seem to be very like, they make them very special by making them very rare. Like, I think the boss before in the previous games, I could correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'm not incredibly up to date on. Do I get this? Or I'm gonna get the hand. I'm gonna get a high five. Let's be honest. I'm not incredibly up to date on like the information around stuff like that, but my assumption is that fuck. What was it? Sorry, I always forget where I'm coming from with this stuff. Tell you what, let me try out a new weapon. Or a different weapon, why not?
Engaging orbital thrusters.
So, let's try out assault rifle. Always a big fan of assault rifles. I'm gonna take these impact grenades. I like having first contact explosions. my assumption is that the fucking robot ones are easy, I guess. I don't know. It's a situation I've never come across, and I won't know until then. What should I bring? Should I bring my grenade launcher? I didn't get too much use out of the grenade launcher. I'm gonna bring it. I quite liked the guard dog. I think it helped me a lot. But yeah, I'm playing on a difficulty that doesn't have the chargers in it, which are effectively incredibly tanky, and I didn't want to deal with them as regular enemies, if I'm being completely honest. Also, the stalkers I don't think are really either. But, what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, and one of my New Year's resolutions that I said I was definitely going to keep. But I effectively had 3. One of them was to stream more, which I immediately did by adding another stream to my weekly streams, admittedly going from 1 to 2, but that's a huge jump for me, right? I mean, I'm just doing this for fun, and so effectively doubling how much I stream is a huge thing for me. And then another one was to generally just be like, make it so that in a situation where I get angry most of the time unreasonably about the situation I'm in. Now I have this tendency to just randomly get like really angry about something that did not. Sure, it was frustrating, but it did not warrant that level of anger. Like, that level of anger was... Where's the breach? There's the breach. I like this grenade launcher. Are they gonna come out? Nope, we're done. Cool. But yeah, just to make sure that in those situations, I sort of take a second, realise that I'm for some reason getting really angry about something that doesn't need to be this level. You know, sort of calm myself down, take myself out of the situation, calm myself down, and then come out the situation with a more calmer outlook. Because it's just generally better for everyone, provided everybody in the situation. And the final one that I think is the one I've been thinking about the most, because generally I've done the stream more one, and I've sort of I think I'm. The thing is that with the other one, the anger thing, it's that's kind of a thing that I just have to, I've got to wait for a situation where it happens. So it's not as easy as just going, yeah, I'm done. But the third one which was to get some form of, like, for lack of a better word, like an avatar for people to, put a face to the voice kind of thing. I've sort of been I guess the word's like procrastinating on, because I'm really not sure the way to go, because obviously I'm not a huge fan of showing off my appearance to people, right? So I don't particularly want to show that to the general public, right? But on the flip side, is that like, because I don't want to do that, is that sort of like a way of dealing with these sort of I don't know how to put it, like deal with the general like reluctance to like you know, do anything publicly or talk to new people. You know, that kind of like, that sort of like fear I have of like, you know, talking to new people and stuff. Is the fact that it scares me and it seems worrying, is that not the reason to go out of my comfort zone and try it? I mean, I know it's not entirely the same, but back in the day I used to be really picky with like food and stuff, right? I'd be like, I don't like this, and then I just wouldn't try it. And then I gotta remember that I can't run away from those. I went out of my way to actually just try stuff. Like, not to go with the opinion that I don't like something and therefore I'm not going to even try it, but go with the sort of like opinion of like, I'm going to try something. If I don't like it after I've tried it, I don't like it, right? I've given it a try. That's literally the minimum that I need to do, is to give something a try. And because of that, like, I found out I really liked a lot of food, and in fact, like, eating new and interesting food is like one of my favorite things to do at this point now. Going out and having some food is incredible. I love it. So is that going to be the same for showing my face on the stream? Like, is inherently this thing I'm really scared of actually in the long run going to be a good thing for me to put myself out of the comfort zone to do? So I think that's a genuine impossibility, right? And then I was like, okay, well maybe. But then I was like, okay, what are the other options? The other options are, I could do what is, you know, the big trend nowadays, which is, I could go for like a VTuber, right? Get an artificial, like, persona for myself that, you know, although it's not me, it's, you know, it tracks my face, and it at least puts a face to the name of, like, a face to the voice that I have on the stream, right? Weird. It says breach. I'm guessing it's that one, but nothing's coming from it. There's nothing that's yet. Anyway, activate the third drill. Why not? I'll have two going on at the same time. Why not? Bring it on. Where is the breach? Over there. Boop. 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 Big boy. Boop.
How do you like the taste of freedom?
Boop. Okay, they're all dead. And there's, you know, there's loads of advantages to that. For one thing, one of the very cool things you can do with one of those is that, like, you can quite easily do, like, customizations to it for, like, specific things. So, like, if I'm playing Rogue Trader, give myself, like, a cool little commissar hat on or something, you know. If I'm playing this game, maybe I can put like a little badge on me that, you know, of Super Earth. You know, things like that, like little things. I just wanted to do that. I don't think that's the right decision. They went past me without attacking me. I didn't even hit any of them, or I hit like one of them because it didn't show up on my kill count. Cool. Oh no, I killed 3 of them. So I thought about that. I thought about, okay, do I get myself a model and like I can customize it? I can do really cool things with it. Like if I want to spend a decent amount of money on this hobby, eventually I could get like emotes for my avatar. I can get like different versions of my avatar. Like, there's so many different things you can do with it. That would be cool and interesting. But on the flip side, although there is free software, if you want to properly like have like one that represents you, because don't get me wrong, the free software you can make sort of a, I don't want to use the word generic, but it's, you can make yourself a model, and the model's good, the model's great quality, but at the end of the day, the average person, if they see it, is probably going to know, oh, that's the...
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
that one looks a lot like every other one, you know? And maybe it's me being selfish, but if I wanted to do something like that, I'd want it to be unique. I wanted it, I'd want it to be, you know, mine and mine alone, and not think that, like, if somebody just, you know, turned the right sliders on the character creation, they can make it. It's a bit selfish, but it's my opinion on this thing, right? It's just what I believe. And so, that's one of the like, you can get the free one, as I was saying before, but the biggest thing is that if you want to get yourself a custom one, it's not a small amount of money. You know, it's even for like, if you want decent quality, you're paying a lot, which is fair because you're paying for somebody to effectively, you know, it's not just drawing a picture, it's drawing a picture and then drawing a picture many times to animate it. You know, it's rigging the whole thing so that when you move your mouth to say like O, for example, it makes an O face. You know, this is stuff that's, there's a reason that they're asking you for a lot of money, but like, it doesn't change the fact that but for someone like me, like, I don't have a lot of disposable income. If I was buying something like, if I was spending that sort of sum of money, I'd be spending it on like upgrades for my computer, and they would be big purchases that I'd have to have in my head, like, really sort of like go through and think about, is this worth, like, what's the how much do I need this, how much is it a big deal? Like, I'd have to properly think it through before even considering it. And it's honestly more than that. It's an insane amount of money. Well, I say insane, it's not an insane amount of money, but it's a lot of money. And so I'm like, well, do I believe that this hobby that I've been doing for less than a year now, yeah, it's about, I don't know, I think I'm coming close to maybe half a year, but I still don't know if that's true. Do I spend that sort of money on something that is a hobby that I've been doing for barely, you know, not even half a year? You know, that's money that can go to very important things, you know. And so, I don't know, I'm in a situation where that one is like, you know, it's not as cut and dry. It's not as cut and dry, and then there's sort of like the, I don't know if it's the middle ground, but it's another option that I initially, like, this was what I was going to go with. But the idea of like I think they're called like PNG tubers, right? So what you do is you take a picture that you get like commissioned, and sometimes you just have it where whenever you talk it lights up and maybe moves up a bit to show like motion.
Last reload.
And some people then get a second picture of them, the mouth open, and it switches between them when they get voice activity, right?
This is Pelican 1. I have visual on the extraction
And it's a cool idea, and I definitely, that was my go-to before, because I didn't know if I wanted to go the VTuber angle. But there are some notable like detriments to this. For example, it's notable that doesn't it's notable that isn't, you know, isn't as effective, right? It's statistics say that like PNG tubers, they don't do as well. There's lots of examples of very successful VTubers and people who just show their, you know, actual face. There's not a lot of examples of people who just use a PNG, because there's a lot of people who say the VTuber is just the natural sort of like better version. You know, it's the upgrade, and so that's one of the detriments. The other detriment is, a lot of the time, unless you can get yourself a really good deal, for one, the market for specifically towards PNG tubers is significantly smaller than the market for specifically VTubers, right? There's a huge amount of people doing VTuber stuff, like for commissions and stuff. And also, generally, if you shop around, you can get a similar thing to what for a similar price for what you're getting for 2 pictures done by a professional. You can get
The bugs are a plague.
you can get the thing rigged by get somebody to make a VTuber model and get it rigged for a similar amount. And that's notable to bring up, because like, if you are spending that money, do you not just go all the way? You know, at that point, do you not just decide that you're going to instead do
Mission coordinates locked. Hellpod Prime.
instead just go, well, I'm gonna go the full hog and buy and get this for like an extra, maybe an extra 20 quid, maybe an extra 50 quid. But in the general scheme of things,
Orbit.
what's that when it's gonna be what represents you, right? It's like when you're buying, say, like insurance or something, and there's insurance for 200 quid, and then there's insurance for 250 quid, but the 250 quid comes with like cover and stuff, you know, like loads of extra added extras. Like, oh well, what's 50 quid in the scheme of things, right? But then the thing is with both of those, both the PNG and the VTuber one, and the thing that's definitely holding me back, because I have been leaning towards them. They were, if you would ask me what I was going to do early on, my immediate reaction would be,
Shadow of neither death nor tyranny, but justice is your cause.
my immediate reaction, sorry, I had to concentrate there. My immediate reaction would have been, like PNG tuber, right? Because I'll be honest, I never thought I had the voice for it. For
Throwing grenade. Bag's empty.
I know it's weird to say, but I don't feel like I've got the voice for a VTuber. And so I just was like, okay, well, I'll just be a PNG tuber because I don't particularly want to show my face. And so that was always my like go-to. But like then, my worry is then, I have ideas for like what I'd want my avatar to be, but it's still a huge commitment, right? You know, what if you do all of this work, and then you just don't like what you have at the end as an end result? Not because of like any fault on the actual the person who made it way. It's just you realise that this thing that you were initially really into, that was going to be your idea, you've just found that it was just like a fling, you know, it was just that initial, oh god, this is really cool, and then as soon as you thought about it for a second, you've gone, oh no, but this isn't long term, this isn't what I like.
Spotted. Prepare to exterminate. Fire in the hole!
And my worry is, that's definitely part of the worry, is that I'm just going to be like, I don't like this anymore. It's like at this point in time, really, really into One Piece, right? Really, really into One Piece. Love One Piece. But I know that I had situations where I was really into One Piece before. And they did, it wasn't, and then I had like a slump where I just didn't read it for a while. Is that gonna happen again? And then I'm stuck with maybe like one that's inspired by One Piece, and then I'm stuck with it when I no longer like it anymore? What do I do then? Like, am I just gonna be like, hey, it's me, yeah, I know, I got this, but I'm not really into this anymore. You know, it's one of those situations that it's a large commitment, and like staying like this, not a large commitment. And another sort of like positive of just getting in camera and showing my face is that, again, that isn't like a large commitment. What's the commitment there? Three, two, one. Oh, did I get it on him? That's insane. He didn't die. 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 He didn't die and he's following me. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Ah, ah, ah. No, 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 no. That hurt. You wouldn't attack me again. You wouldn't.
Warning, you are leaving the mission area.
Yeah, you're leaving the mission area, blimmin' charger. Oh.
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
Put this down here.
Bring
3,
payload.
2, 1. Did I get it? Is it dead? It's not dead.
Helldiver, you are moving outside the mission area.
Grenade, grenade, grenade. I don't have any grenades. Oh, I do have grenades. Never mind, I'm a genius. Is it dead? Charger, there you are. It's not dying. What do you do when it...
Helldiver, you are moving outside the mission area.
I don't understand. How do you kill this thing?
Bag's empty.
Oh, no. No. He still sees me.
Last reload.
Okay. Well,
High priority target neutralized.
as long as you don't mention the fact that I was crying there, we're fine.
Tagging map. North.
I think that went perfectly. I don't know why you would say otherwise, frankly. But yeah, it's the thing is all you need. The only commitment to, showing my face is to go buy a webcam. And what is it, like 30 quid for a decent one? You know, like. And then all I do is set it up in a place where you can see my face, and then that's it. You know, like, that's it done. And, you know, I'm not spending like hundreds of quid. So that's sort of like my thinking on this, and I still haven't really come to a conclusion about it yet. But oh, that's nice. I didn't even do this on purpose. But it's definitely something I'm thinking of, and I'm worried that I'm getting to that point where I'm just sort of delaying it and delaying it and delaying it because I don't want to really talk about it. Whereas what I need to actually do is I need to, you know, sort of make that commitment, because if I'm going to commit to, say, getting a model made, a model, like, it takes, you know, a lot of these people have a lot of backlog, so it takes months. You know, and I sort of, like, have to make sure that I can choose the right month where I don't feel like I'm so short of money after doing it.
Spotted. Bag's empty. Get some! Get some!
You know, it's an interesting situation that I occasionally sort of think about. That, and it'd be interesting to see. I don't know, like I've had no.
How do you like the taste of
The thing is with VTubing is it's this sort of new community that's,
throwing grenade?
in the scheme of things, I've had no sort of like, I haven't really had any sort of like contact with, in the sense that I've never been a part of that
What a
community.
nice cup of liberty.
I've you know, it happened, and I sort of like missed everyone becoming popular, and so like the only sort of stuff that I've watched that has been like VTubing has been like effectively whoever Connor like collabed with. So the biggest name in the industry, Blimmin' Iron Mouse, I know a bit about. And like I know a bit about what was it, Rainho or something, and then there's like he's done some stuff with Aethel and like Yanas and stuff, and like that's the sort of like limit of what I know. That's my hard cutoff in terms of like that's it. That's all I know.
No pain, no freedom.
Orbital strike incoming.
Jesus, he one-shot me. What am I supposed to do in those situations? I've never understood. Oh. That's bullshit. Grenade! Grenade? Okay, I'm out of grenades. Therefore, I may as well just be dead. I don't know how to reliably dodge these yet. In fact, I'm not sure there is a reliable way of dodging these. If there is, I'm not very good at it. Keep reloading, keep reloading, keep reloading. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
My life for super art.
He's gonna do a constant turn. Constant turn, constant turn, constant turn. He's just... Constant turn, constant turn, constant turn.
Last reload.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Stop charging me, stop charging me, stop charging me. Okay, I'm good. Ow. Ow. Constant turn, constant turn, constant turn, constant. Keep running, keep running, keep running. What do I do now? What do I do now?
Found something.
Come on, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Come on, napalm has to kill it. Right? You're on fire. Come on, you're on fire, mate. Please. You're not gonna. Come on, you. Come on, I'm shooting you enough there. Come on, you've got to be dead by now. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, mate, come on, mate. You're a charger that's not even charging at this point. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Ow. You hit me. Come on. Come on. Stop attacking me. Stop attacking me. Stop attacking me. Stop attacking me. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. What do you do when you see them coming at you? What do you do in that situation?
Firing orbital strike.
Found something.
Equipment package.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm pretty sure I ran away from the actual mission.
Freedom. Extract when
Dropping a
High
pin.
priority target
Northeast.
eliminated.
You know what? Screw that. I'm not going all the way over just for what is probably just one sample. I'll get the music back on in a sec. But yeah, I'm definitely debating that, and
Proceed to extraction when ready.
I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna come to a conclusion anytime soon, because a lot of the time I sort of sit there and almost do nothing about these kinds of things, but it's definitely still in my mind, and I've definitely got to think about that and think about what I'm gonna do in that situation. I think the most likely of them, the most likely of them is I do nothing and I stick to what I have right now. But the second most likely is probably going to be getting the
Say hello to democracy!
getting my own like
Found something.
what's the word? Getting my own like PNG is probably the way I'm gonna go. What I think is likely. Anything good? Super credits, not bad. I'm a big fan of super credits, even if it's only 10. But there's a possibility that there's a chance that I do something else. I definitely feel like there's a proper, if you get into the VTubing scene, there is a proper community around that would be very helpful and interesting to be a part of. I don't think is really a thing. Of course, I throw a grenade and immediately kill myself.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Point me to the enemy.
I'm not in the right mindset here.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Joining the fray.
Okay. You kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Get some! Get some!
Throw grenades,
Bag's empty.
because I don't want to deal with them. They still live. I'm gonna have to deal with them. Let's just do this. No, I don't want to pick up the Liberator. Or the Guard Dog, really. I want this.
How'd you like the taste of freedom? Bag's empty.
I'm not really good at like finding and defeating these bugs quick enough that they don't summon more of them. I definitely think it's something I need to work on, because it keeps happening that I'm stuck in a situation where I'm sitting there and I'm going, if I had dealt with these dudes, I wouldn't have to deal with the breach, and if I dealt with if I didn't have the breach there, then I would have been able to. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, I've gone into a death loop here.
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
I was doing well, and then I've just entered a death loop, and I've screwed myself over here. It's just a spiral. That's the word. It's not even called a death loop. It's called a death spiral. It constantly happens where you're just like, come on, come on. I want the sample. Where are these coming from? And I'll take the guard dog as well. The guard dog helps. Yeah, you get into the mindset and then you just like, okay, well, I'm screwed here, and then you panic and you try and, you try and rush back to what you had before. It's a constant spiral. It happens. I mean, you didn't need to kill them. They were doing their own thing.
Bag's empty.
But yeah, it's I think I've sort of got it back on track now. But yeah, I really like the aesthetic with this game.
Bomb armed.
I
Clear
think
the area.
it's kind of one of those things that I don't know, it's unique enough in the sense that I think there's only 3 to 4, maybe 2 to 3 franchises that do this sort of style.
North.
Extraction is available.
And I think it definitely has. I like when they do these kinds of quite obviously horrendous places to actually live, where it very much uses the idea of like liberty and freedom, and to a certain extent like all the things that you think of as being, it's kind of, I guess you could say, quite heavily American sort of style, and they bump it up to the point where you can't see this as anything but parody. Like, there's occasional times where you see media and they'll do this kind of stuff, and it's like, oh, but are they saying this is actually good, or is this a parody? No, they've bumped this up so much that you can't even think that this is anything but a parody. And it's perfect for what you want. Because it's just like, you can just ham it up and you can sort of like, you can act as if you're like this incredibly patriotic, borderline like, it's propaganda that's saying that like all this stuff in the game, but it's fun to deal with it when it's quite obviously a parody. You know? And so it's been very fun. This aesthetic was fun before, and it's fun now. They've kind of gone into it even more. Like, in some ways they've gone into it really more with all like the promotional videos and stuff, but in other ways, like in the previous game, the enemies you fought were the bugs as normal. They were just bugs. Then you were dealing with the what would have been it's effectively the same enemies as the robot faction, but they were specifically communist robots, cyborgs before, which is just such a obvious thing to add when you're making something that's supposed to be like this obvious parody of like patriotism and stuff, right? They're not just robots.
Orbital strike incoming. ETA T-minus 30 seconds.
They're even worse than that. They're blimmin' communist robots.
20 seconds.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
it's been very fun. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. These enemies, as much as they're blimmin' hurting me, they look so cool. They have such a cool like look to them. I mean, just look at them, like the wings, the like the obviously quite like alien sort of insectoid coloring with like the like dirty white with the like prominent orange just makes them look so cool. And then there's some that you see in more in the other area that's liberated that are more like they have the green and they both just pop and it makes it look so cool. I just love the aesthetic. And I love seeing these things that I'd seen via top down, which wasn't incredibly detailed, and now I can see them as like fully formed, like at face view bugs that I'm dealing with. Such a fun thing to see. It's definitely one of those ones that I think I'll be playing on and off probably long after this the big craze of this game disappears. It also helps. I mean, I haven't brought this up too much, but it also helps a lot that it's really, really fun to play co-op as co-op. Really, really fun. Like when you have a group of your teams and like there's lots of things like if I show you the
Never forget.
if we go to the stratagems page, if you look at something like this recoilless rifle, you can see here you can have someone who has the backpack that I had on the autocannon, and you can have they can reload for you, which makes it faster to reload, and you can just have somebody destroying the enemies with it with your gun. It's such a cool idea. Oh, I can unlock this, but I don't really use these. Do I use any of these? I don't really use any of those either. I don't care about sentries. I don't really care about that. I would have done any of these ones. I think I'm going to keep that. I don't think I want any of those. Oh my god, I'm on 18. Is there anything that I can buy at this point? No, I need 20. Okay, well I'll be good once I've done this mission. Hopefully.
Mission coordinates locked.
As you can probably see, I'm not very good at dealing with with big enemies, specifically the charger. It's as I said, it's why I haven't
Orbit synchronized.
I didn't start with the a higher challenge rating, because if I'm on a higher challenge rating, you straight up have to deal with chargers as regular, not regular enemies, but as like elites. And I cannot deal with that.
Hellpod launch.
I like that guard dog. I'm gonna keep using it. It might actually become part of my regular loadout. Oh, funny thing that I didn't mention is when you're starting the game up and you finish a tutorial, you get to name your ship, but it's not naming it in the usual sense where you know, you just get to type in a name. Obviously, because they didn't want to deal with a load of people coming up with like horrendous names and it being public on like both PlayStation and on blimmin' Steam.
Sending down equipment package.
And they knew that if somebody had access to it, even if you had the best situation ever, like you've got the best software to catch people who do horrendous things, somebody would find a way around it, right? So what they did is instead they just put a load of words that would be used in like the propaganda of this world, which I think is a really funny idea to do. So you've got stuff like Constitution, Wrath, you know,
Objective nearby.
Liberty, you know, stuff like that, and it's just like and then you choose like the starting word, and then it puts like of the, and then you put the secondary word. I didn't, when I was doing it initially, I didn't realize how it's supposed to work, and so, or how you're supposed to control it. And so mine, but luckily I was able to get one that I think is pretty decent. I can hate these creatures.
What injury?
Are you kidding me? What even killed me there? I'm not even sure what killed me.
Approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
It's,
Democracy has landed.
I'm not even sure that the game knew what killed me there. Anyway. Mine is the Champion of the Constitution. Which is, I think, is such a cool name.
Bag's empty.
Are you kidding me? Why? Are you kidding me? These bloody things exist. I hate them. I hate their guts. We're out of here. We're out of here. Where's the next one? Over there?
Structure destroyed.
That's fine. But yeah, it's fun, like how much they embrace it. I think it's one of those things where like that extra added thing turns this game from being a really good game mechanically, to a really good game that also has a really cool, really good game mechanically, but also has like a really cool aesthetic to it. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't tone it down enough. Like, I'm glad they didn't tone it down a lot, because I think there's a part of like. I don't want to get into it too much because I don't think I'm incredibly qualified to talk about it. But there is a part of bloody. There's a part of like the culture around now that I could see maybe coming at this kind of game as being like offensive in some way, even though it's quite obviously a parody, and that what it's sort of showing off is supposed to be, you know, effectively people using what people's like patriotism to, you know, rule effectively. Because there's stuff like there hasn't been like a vote, or you have to pay for a vote or something. Only select people can vote, but also they talk about democracy and say that it's all about, you know, it's the kind of like they are inherently like counterintuitive that what they say. But that's the point, right? And so I could have seen a situation where this game, because like it had more eyes on it, there would be more people saying that this game, you know, is promoting bad things, or, you know, or that it needs to have some, I don't know, warning labels on it or something. And so I'm very glad that, you know what, I'm just gonna go straight to the extraction. So close. I'm glad that this game has stuck to its roots, you know? It's and for it, it's become a really good game. I'm glad it's gone really popular as well, because this game this game was a proper like sleeper hit for a while, I think. Well, the first one was, and it deserved more. And I definitely say, if you've played this game and you really like it, the other game is very similar.
Extraction shuttle inbound.
The only difference is that it is top down, and that could be a deal breaker, like, because it does change the game sort of like how it's worked, how it works. So for example, in the first game, I always used like a sniper rifle as my main gun, and what I'd do is I'd hold the aim button with a laser sight, and I'd hold it to like the absolute edge of the screen, right? So I could see the absolute most amount of the screen as I physically could, and then I'd shoot any creature that got close. But from any direction, because it didn't really matter. Because inherently, if you're playing top down, you can see every direction, right?
Minus 1 minute.
Whereas in this one, obviously you can't do that. Not just because I don't have access to the sniper rifle, but because it wouldn't work. Because what I was doing inherently worked, like, was not abusing, but was using what the part of the whole of the playstyle of that game, right?
ETA T-minus 30 seconds.
And so it's entirely possible that you won't like the first game, but I definitely say give it a try. It's not that expensive. I mean, neither of these games are incredibly expensive. So honestly, I give it a try. I give it a try. And if you're planning on getting this game, if you haven't already gotten it, I would suggest just getting the standard edition. The Super Citizens edition is kind of just more of like a supporter edition. But don't get me wrong, if you want to support them, and you have the money to spare, it is a decent amount more. It's like, I think it's like 35 quid for the base game, and then like I think like 50 quid for the Super Citizen version. So it's like it's not an insignificant amount extra. But you don't need to get it, which is good, because you're not losing out on too much. You lose out on a cape, I think. You lose out on a mini game in your ship. But if your friend has the mini game, sorry, your friend has got the better the Super Citizen version. You can go on their ship and you can play the game, so it's not a huge deal. And then you also unlock the premium sort of. I use the word pass because I can't think of a better word than pass. But you have the premium pass already unlocked, so you don't have to use any super credits for it. But bear in mind, as I've said before, you can earn the super credits quite easily on the pass and by finding them in the game. Although if you find them in the game, it's not a lot. Admittedly. So I would just suggest getting the standard edition. And if you can, I wish they did this, but occasionally games have it where you can, if you combine like a bundle of 4, and you can give out
Democracy.
you can give out the rest of them to your, like the 3 other ones to your friend, so that you can you know, give it as a gift, as like, hey, we can all play this game together. That's the gift. But they don't have it for that. But I would strongly suggest, if you're going to play the game, play it with friends. Anyway, I think that's my time. I've gone a bit over, actually. I went half an hour over, but I really like this game. So I hope you liked watching this. I hope the noise gate thing has worked. I haven't actually checked. And yeah, I hope to see you on Wednesday for Rogue Trader.